So I want to move the conversation on, but I say move it on. I'm only really taking it back to the narrative of Lagos being no man's land. We thought that was settled with the victory of Sanwo-Olu, where he took out the three-pronged koboko and applied summary punishments on Jandor and Chinedu. But that narrative of Lagos is no man's land or not, it still subsists. Somebody that likes to hug the headline is the person promoting it this time around. Watch
You
this.
said something just now. You said Lagos is Yoruba land. Are you really sure about that? You want to contest it?
Definitely.
If you go and check your history, the Oba of Lagos also stated that Lagos used to be a tributary to the Benin people. And I want to ask you, this same all of you that are claiming that we are the true Lagosians, are you truly from Lagos? Because we have seen many disparities. Look at his senator, Senator Olamile. Please let me finish.
Okay.
Senator Olamilekon, after being a senator in Lagos, he went to his true state, Ogun State, to be a senator. There was no bones made about that. So are you people that are saying you are from Lagos causing this division? Are you truly from Lagos?
No. Correct.
Oh, all right, so there it is. So let's bring Ogbeni in on this one. So Ogbeni, so that's we are revisiting again. It looks as though we will never leave that space. Lagos are no man's land. So this is Rufai Oseni, who will tell you that it's a non-aligned journalist, but I think we all know his political leanings, taking us through memory lane and telling us that Lagos is actually an outpost of Benin Kingdom. So we've heard this narrative before, but what are you making of it then being revisited by this wayward journalist?
It's funny most time when you call Rufai, he's a journalist. Well, for me, and I've said it here before, he's not a professional journalist. He's just a TV presenter. As I'm concerned, that's the best I can give him. He's not professional at all, and he's not even deep. Sometimes he tried to chunk out some mystery, but if he's met with people who understand history very well, you realize that it's not deep. You just go to some inconsequential blog to go and read things, and go to some and check Google and Wikipedia's, and you start coming on a rise, and then start chunking out some facts that are they don't even correlate with history. So well, it is what it is. People that go to patronize them at Arise TV, good luck to them, and good luck to those ones is able to curry favor from, and people that follow him. For me, I listen to Rufai Oseni once in a while, just to pass time, not to really listen to anything very serious from the guy. I've known few people like that, okay, in that industry. In some years ago, where are they today? So he can continue in that path. He's trending if he thinks it's the best for him. Because how do you explain it? Now, the issue of about Lagos saying Lagos own Benin, this is an issue that has been settled over years. There was a time, if you remember, when this man wrote this book. I read that book. I, Your Obedient Servant. I don't know if you know that book. I, Your Obedient Servant. That is the title of that book, written by Oba of Benin, the late Oba of Benin. I, Your Obedient Servant, something like that. One read back like this. And then some professors from University of Lagos, rose up with their own books, which they've written for some years back. And then Professor Falola from United States of America, a major Yoruba historian, and a lot of historians started rising up to challenge about Benin then, and they came to a midpoint to say, see, when you look at Benin and you look at Yoruba land, they are not really different. There's no really difference in the Benin and Yoruba. It's just like you having how do I put it? In those days, is Berlin Conference and all these things that now partition the country so much like that partitioning us in a very strange way that we now tend to see Benin really clearly different from Yoruba land. These were kingdoms formed from kingdoms and different empires rising, and you see some falling and they're rising. They're still the same. If you go deep into the Benin, society or any community within Benin, when they speak the original Benin to you, and you go to Ile-Ife and they speak the indigenous Ife land, I schooled in Ife. You go to all those More, Akarabata, all those areas, and you meet those mama there. When they speak the real Ife to you, and you compare the two, you won't even really see the difference, you know, in correct Benin language and in correct Ife language. So that tells you, okay, even if you don't go deeply in history, that tells you there's a connection, there's something. So when you see somebody say, okay, Benin, we settled there in Lagos before, and Yoruba is saying Benin, what is even saying? If you are saying Lagos even belong to the indigenous Benin settlers, you are still saying Lagos belongs to the Yoruba.
Let's establish one thing first. Because Lagos is it's a small state, but it's a sizable enough mass. So, because there's an argument to say that what the Benins actually had in Lagos was no more than an outpost within a small geographical space, and there was never a time that they had total charge of the vast expanse of Lagos. So, does that cohere with history as you know it?
Now, yeah, this the history I know about Lagos. Yeah, the Benin guys came there, right? When Benin Empire was Benin Empire. So, and they got there not to conquer anybody. Don't forget, I've said it here before. Lagos has been a major port, okay, for different Yoruba kingdoms. Okay, it was a neutral ground for different Yoruba kingdoms to trade, to do a lot of things. Okay, that port you see in Lagos, that seaport you see, it has been there before colonialism. Lagos port was not just created during colonial days. It has been there before colonialism. When the Oyinbo people came, I told you they call it the Liverpool of West Africa, because it has been in existence. They've been trading fishes, they've even been trading. See, Lagos was, I read something about there was this book compilation by something History Society of Nigeria, or Society of something History Nigeria. I have that book, blue color like this, the back, and they told the history of warriors coming to Lagos to arbitrate their cases. So to tell you how important Lagos was to the Yoruba kingdoms. So you will find two kingdoms fighting, and they will, and that was the same book that told me that they were using the Egbas and the Jebus to the Egbas really as arbitrators to settle their issues. So now, for instance, let's say Ogbomoso now fighting, let's say Ogbomoso now fighting Ofa. You need a neutral ground, right, to settle your matter. The Ogbomoso warriors, okay, will say, okay, we don't want war. The Ofa will say, okay, we want war. Okay, they will look for an Egba arbitrators. They will come to a neutral ground. So that Lagos used to be their neutral ground to settle their disputes. And everybody will settle their dispute, and they will tell them to hit the kola nut and do their libation and everything. And everybody go home peacefully. I'm talking of years before colonial master even came at all. So Lagos has been a hotspot for Yorubas. So when you now say Benin, you are still saying Yoruba. Yes, we call it Benin now, but you are still saying Yoruba. It's still the kingdom we're talking about.
Ogbeni.
Yeah, my brother.
I wanted to comment. You see, I don't know what the guy was talking about there. Even the history, as it says, that when the Benin, when they waged their war towards westward, they met people there. There were some people that were there already living there on the land.
Yeah.
They only made that place a vassal kingdom by sending one of their sons to come take over the throne of Lagos. But there were people there. There were indigenous people living there. Apart from the Badagry Axis part, because I know according to the history, I think they waged that war. The Benin waged that war up to Dahomey.
Yes.
But then my point is that for the fact that there were people indigenous to that land that were there, they were not into conquest, but they were conquered by the Benin Empire. Then tells you that Benin doesn't own that place. They only made that place a vassal state, a vassal kingdom to their own main kingdom in Benin. But the fact that people were there, and according to the history, what's these people's they say these people from Ijebus and some of
Aworis.
Thank you very much. That's what I was looking. The Aworis, they were already there.
Yes.
So I don't know what Rufai is talking about. So there were people there who originally owned that place called Eko or Lagos.
In fact, history had it that the Yorubas who were there, the traders, the slave traders.
Can I interject, Ogbeni?
All right.
In what year did they conquer Lagos, the Benin?
That is 16th century. That's 16th century. That's 15 something, right? The 16th century was when they got there.
No, 16 something, 17. That should be 17th century now, right?
Oh no, that's 16th century. That's 17 something.
If it was conquered before that period, then it's the land of the Benin.
No, it has existed before they came to white people.
Can you say Nigeria is a conquered place because the British they conquered it, they took over?
No, they did not conquer us. They just colonized us.
So what is the difference between colonization and conquer?
When you read the 1946,
Benin did not even conquer Lagos. They just took one part and established their port or something like that. They didn't conquer like the entirety of Lagos.
If you use the word conquer, it means another.
No, they didn't conquer Lagos.
Okay.
They just extended their kingdom.
They ruled over it. So in a sense, they conquered it. Like when we say vassal, it makes somebody a vassal state, that is a subjected state.
Was there a war?
Hold on.
Establishment.
Hold on now. This probably results in this is to Ogbeni. What lineage is the Oba of Lagos? What lineage is he? Is he of Benin stock?
It's a Benin stock, yeah.
He's of Benin stock.
No.
And yes, he is.
He's of Benin stock, yeah.
He's of Benin stock now.
At least some part of the royal family from Lagos.
And rational mind. Don't forget, Oba Eko is not the only Oba in Lagos.
I know.
Yeah. My understanding of what happened in Lagos was not that Lagos was actually conquered by the Benin kingdom. Benin, I said,
they were on a conquest. They were moving westward. They were conquering from Ondo town, those Ondo places down westward. Even they got to Dahomey. They got to Badagry.
This is my understanding.
That's what the history says. That history, because I did history in school, so I read that.
Yes, but don't forget that history, you have different versions of history, right?
Exactly.
So and that's why it's always very good to say, okay, some historian said this, some historian said this, then this is what you believe. For me, this is why I take away from little that I read about the thing.
All right, carry on, Ogbeni, but incorporate this. I think Kulata has been at the red wine again. It's telling you that the Oba of Lagos is from Ijesha, but carry on. I think it's been at the wine again. I will ignore that. Carry on.
No, Oba of Lagos. Oba of Lagos, according to that Oba himself, will always trace his lineage back to Benin. You know. Maybe
no, the tracing is not like a descendant. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's I don't know, related like this, like that. It's not like related, I think this mystery regarding Ashukpa or something is what is behind the who is about. I think it's Awori lineage. I think it's linked to Awori. Not really.
Awori has their own there now.
All right. Ogbeni, take us back on that narrative, because you were painting us a picture of the Benin involvement in Lagos State.
See, my understanding of the history in Lagos is the Yorubas have been in Lagos for centuries, particularly the Lagos Island, right? They've settled there, and I've told you the categories of people there. Warriors used to come there to settle their disputes. Some of them settled there. Fishermen, hunters, slave traders, all sorts of people. So it was a hot spot for them to settle, particularly island. Now, The Benin, while coming westward, they were coming not majorly to conquer. It was like an adventure for them. Let me give you an instance. The Benin got to Ado Ekiti, for instance. Ado, the way of Ado was not one of the Oduduwa's descendants. He came from Benin. All right. A version of story had it that he was a prince in Benin and he offended the throne and they asked him to vacate, but they gave him slaves and all sorts of to live. And he settled in Ado. He met some people in Ado, but he didn't conquer them. So they gave him land and established his own kingdom there. But later, he had to dominate them. But today, they still have those ones he met there. They call that space Odoado, and they call his own Okewi. So like that. So there are towns in Yoruba, some pockets of towns in Yoruba land that were actually founded by the Benin kingdom as they were moving. So the same trail got to Lagos. So Lagos was dominated, a part of Lagos was dominated, which they made use of, okay, for them to project further to Dahomey and all those space. Don't forget, these Dahomey space we're talking about were actually dominated by the Alaafin and others before they arrived there. So
yeah, but I think they got into a war with the Oyo kingdom.
They got into on the Alaafin space, right?
Yeah, because when the Alaafin, I mean the Oyo was kingdom was empire was conquering towards Togo. And then the Benin were coming from
I think
south.
it's generations after now. It's not that one now.
Generation what?
No, it's still that 16th century.
That prince you're talking about is not the one who established the Ido Palace or whatever it is. It's his grandsons or whatever. It's generations after him now, not him now.
Who?
I'm not so sure, but I don't think it's that prince you are referring to that established the Ido, whatever.
Sorry, guys. Can I interject? I only came to interject on this, and I'll leave. The first Oba of Lagos, Ashipa, is from Awori. Ashipa is Awori, a pure Yoruba man. Awori. When the Benin king, they created a war camp, war outpost somewhere in Lagos Island. Not even the entire spans of Lagos Island. It's just that area where you have that whatever in Lagos Island. And Ashipa married the daughter of Oba of Benin. And then they were tributary to the Benin kingdom. They were not tributary to Oyo kingdom. But that is just the Lagos Island part of Lagos. Ikorodu, the Ijebu parts were tributaries to Oyo and different areas, depending on who had the power at that time. So that area of Lagos Island. Now, the Ashikpa's line only lasted for 6 Obas because one of the Obas did not father any son. So they used the daughter of Obado, which was the second one, married Alagba. Alagba what's Alagba's position again? Alagba is some, I don't know whether it's a warrior or it's a soldier or something from Elisha. That Alagba and the daughter of Obado, Ado is the second king, and the daughter of Obado became Ologun Kutere, the 6th king. And it's Ologun Kutere's line that is currently in succession right now. So the current Oba draws his line straight to the 6th king, which is Ologun Kutere. Because the Ologun Kutere guy, I mean, you can see, first of all, Benin had a war camp.
Apologies, Kulata, but the current Oba himself, the one that sits in situation at the moment, did he not tell us that he's Benin blood?
No, he has Benin blood in him via his mom.
Yeah, he has Benin blood,
via maternal line.
Go on.
But the kingship has always been Yoruba. Because Ashipa married Edo, Oba of Benin's wife. And then they birthed Obado. So Obado is already half Edo, half Yoruba. Then Obado's daughter was the one that married, the Ijesha guy. So there's Edo blood in the current line. There's always been Edo blood there. But when you talk about Lagos, there was no Edo in Ikorodu, in Epe, in Badagry, in what's the name of that boarding school that my friends go to. It was just one section of Lagos Island. So let's be very clear about it. But they also moved to one area. that area where is it coasting? My Lagos memory is dying, but it was mainly restricted to that Lagos Island, Ojora area. It's mainly towards that Lagos Island part that it is. So people need to understand the history. But did they pay tributary to Edo? Yes, they paid tributary up to 1851. They were paying tributary to Benin Kingdom, that Lagos Island part. The other parts of it weren't. And Oyo, and the reason it blew up was because of slave trade, because they were using the Lagos port for slave trade. And then Ijebus protected that port. So people that wanted to sell slaves will have to go through Ijebu. So that's why Ijebus got a lot of wealth ahead of most Yorubas. They control that space. And the Oba of Edo just got whatever they gave him. It wasn't anything. They stopped giving him tributaries in 1851, but it was just ceremonial, really, because there was a battle for who controlled that slave port. So you can see that many people from the hinterland could not. Sometimes they block that port because of Lagos has always had that natural what's it called, arbor, whatever. So it always had that advantage. So you could sell slaves easily. So people were moving slaves all the way to Warri and Co. So when they say Lagos is Benin, Lagos Island has Benin elements, but the royalty is always been Awori and moved to Ijesha by the 6th one. So if you trace the line, the father, that Ologun Kutere, you can go and read it. That Ologun Kutere, the man that birthed it is from Elisha. The wife is Obado's daughter. That's the history of Lagos Island, not Lagos State. So it's not. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Now, that first Oba of Lagos, you said is Prince Ado, right?
Ashikpa is the first one. That's the founder of it.
Okay.
Married.
When did Prince Ado become their Oba?
1716.
Now, that Prince Ado was a prince from Benin Kingdom, right?
No. Prince Ado was Ashikpa's son with Ashikpa and the princess of Benin.
Now, I think this is where the issue is now. Oba of Lagos, in his own book, said the Prince Ado was a prince of Benin that came, and then the Ashikpa's people surrendered their sovereignty to him.
No.
That was what the Oba said now.
Well, the history books, because see, look at what about Oni of Ife said about Igbo people having somewhere in what's it called, in Ife. That's nonsense. Now all these Obas a lot of them don't know the historical accounts.
Don't call it nonsense now.
No,
they are modern Obas.
Why would you?
Modern Obas that mix history? Like
Kulata, it would be wrong for you to say.
It was mixing Ugbo with Igbo. Ugbo people that are Ilaje was mixing it up with Igbo. Ugbo were the original inhabitants.
You cannot say. Listen. You see, I don't know if you. I studied was a course I did called etymology. You need to understand that some languages, like when you say Ado, Ido
has Edo influence. Anywhere you see Ado Ikiti or anything Ado has Edo influence. So there's a lot of Edo influence in those states. Like Akure now has a mix of Edo and Yoruba. Ado Ikiti has a mix of Yoruba and what's it called? Same thing with Ondo State. The entire Benin influence reached current Osun State at some point.
Of course.
Benin, there was a time some parts of current Osun State were paying tributary to Oba of Benin.
Yes, now
because my point with you. Sorry, sorry. My point to Kulata is that it would be wrong for you to say that some of these kings don't know the history.
Some of them don't know it.
Hold on, because they have people who work with them in the palace who tells them stories. I mean, I don't know who is there to tell me. They used to call them, they are palace historian. They tell them stories. So it would be wrong for you to say, because most of them... They
are even first-hand authority now.
Yeah, they are so...
Whether they agree or not,
it would be wrong for you to...
and griots. There's a lot of remix when
yeah, I agree with you.
Generation to the
But
other
even
generation.
among these historians these modern historians that were writing some of the history books that we read in school, some of them they were just latter
day rains.
No. What I'm reading, what I'm telling you, were documentation back from colonial era. I'm not giving you all this later day stuff.
No, Kulata, leave all those documentation.
Kulata, can I ask you a question?
Those colonialists, they are sometimes when they compile
Kulata, good morning. Can I ask you a question?
Good morning. Yeah, it's morning here.
Do you eat kangaroo pepper soup?
That's Thomas.
Why are you laughing? That's just an honest question.
Where's kangaroo soup? No, I wish. I've not tried that before.
Because I've been listening to I've been listening to One Man's Platform for a long time before I started coming in. I think they did a research that I've not been able to verify, that kangaroo pepper soup make people sometimes speak incoherently or think incoherently. That's why I'm asking.
Are you dissing me?
No, it's red wine. It's red wine. Yeah, red wine.
It's too early in the morning where I have to be drinking red wine. No, I drank too much yesterday.
No, you know why I'm saying that? The other day you said something. I was listening to you people say.
Peter, are you insulting me?
No.
Let's carry on. She's been keeping notes on her. First one was rational mind. Now it's you. She's been keeping notes on everybody.
Get back to work, but I just wanted to straighten out the stuff.
No offense. I'm just trying to clarify something. You know, sometimes when you love a delicacy, you take it too much. It's good to advise that you like step down a little.
Where are you going with that? Where is it gonna lie?
The other day I was listening to them, and then I heard Kulata saying that P2B is it's like a Awolowo.
Yes, now it's like the Awolowo of the South.
He's still saying it. He
said
I'm
saying it. It's like
this is nothing to do with the Oba of Lagos. Okay, you've been all right. Okay.
Is it that you may not like it, but that is how many people feel?
Wait, is the president Igbos we never have? That is like a Awolowo. The president.
Yes, now I stand by that.
First of all, I don't even know why you said that. That's why I'm asking if you take kangaroo pepper soup. Because in the first place, P2B is still alive. He's not dead.
Know. So I know. Well, he's not going to be president, yeah.
He might one day.
He's not.
That's one. Two, P2B and Awolowo are two parallel lines.
I know, Zita. Now,
Let
maybe
me finish
you
now, because
we are
talking like kangaroo pepper soup now.
You need to understand my context. How people feel doesn't mean it's true or it needs to be reality. It's just how they feel. Some people will feel we'll never get consumption to production because Peter Obi never became president.
See, Kulata, that's those two human beings. You mean a man that actually put the Yorubans in his babariga and protected you to the detriment of his career, his dream, even when his protection to the Yorubas were hurting some tribes, he never cared. He stood firm.
You are taking us off topic, Zita.
I understand, but you are trying to join them somewhere.
I think that is
you are trying to join them. The other
He's
one
not,
is still alive. He could be down
Peter
two
Obi
parallel
is
lines.
not as acclaimed as Awolowo. I'm just saying some people in their minds will think that they've lost the best president that the Southeast should have given Nigeria. That's how obedient you think. I'm not talking about whether it's real or factual. There's no factual basis for it. It's just how some people have feelings that.
If you're eating kangaroo, stop.
But it's true now. Are you going to tell me that there's some obedience somewhere not crying that our savior? Have you heard how these people talk about Peter Obi like savior?
Everybody is always our savior if they're on our side. That's how we roll.
Oh, okay.
All right, back
All
to the
right.
history.
So,
Let's talk. Yeah, go on. Yeah,
so
go on.
Eletu Kekere was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th Oba of Lagos. That Eletu Kekere.
Eletu Max Obi.
Ajebota now.
Eletu Kekere did not birth a child. That's why
Wait, so
the
you
one
want to
after him.
Wait. Let him land.
You want to be speaking like GRV now? Speak
Yes.
Yoruba.
I mean, I don't. I'm from the source. I don't know all these Lagos Yoruba.
Even you don't know the Lagos Yoruba. Even your Ijesha, you don't even know how to speak it.
No. I want that historical documentation. So sorry, carry on, Kulata. Yeah.
See, okay, Ashipa, Awori man, married Edo princess. They birthed Ado, Obado, because Obado is between Yoruba and Benin, half, 50-50. Ado now had birthed Gabaro. Gabaro, I think that Gabaro name is not a Yoruba name. I don't know a Yoruba name called Gabaro, but that is Obado's son.
Is that not sharing?
Then Gabaro birthed Akinshemoyin that reigned in 1760 to 1775. And I think Akinshemoyin Akinshemoyin did not produce the next whatever. They went to Oba Gabaro's son, Eletu Kekere. And Eletu Kekere did not have any kids. So then he now went to Obado's daughter, marrying some guy called Alagba. And Alagba is an Ijesha traditional advisor to Akinshemoyin, is Alagba. And the Obado's daughter that now form the 6th line, which is Ologun Kutere, and that is the current line of succession right now. So the controversy is Edo's claim Ashipa is not Awori, that Ashipa is from Benin. Awori, from all the historical accounts I've heard, and even the name Ashipa is a Yoruba name, is not an Edo name. But Ado is an Edo. Ado is the way we reference anything Edo. Ado Ekiti, Ado this, Ado that. We know that as Edo, but Ado is the son of Ashipa. So when he got to that Gabaro, I don't know a Yoruba word called Gabaro. I don't know if you guys know, but Gabaro doesn't sound like a Yoruba name to me, and that is Obado's son. So a lot of lineage came from this Obado, but it stopped when his daughter married the Jesha guy, and that's the current line. So we can say it's a Yoruba line with mixture of Edo, but it is just some parts of Lagos Island, not Lagos State. So that's why I just jumped in to come and say this before I go back to work now.
All right. Thank you, Skulata. So you were spinning us a yarn, Benin. You were giving Fabu history. You were giving us Fabu.
So you mean that the Benin Kingdom was a very powerful kingdom?
Yes.
Very powerful.
It was very powerful at some point.
Kingdom.
But
was it more powerful than the Oyo Kingdom?
See, the thing is, Benin Kingdom, because of the Portuguese influence, they had guns and gunpowder, and they had it ahead of some people. But then they had civil war. Benin had Benin civil war, so they lost a lot during the civil war. And then when they became weak, they became super weak. So it did not have the expanse of Oyo Empire, because Oyo Empire had large expanse all the way to Ghana. And even people that were not Yorubas adopted Yoruba names. I think the problem with the Benin is they did not force people to take up their language. They allowed autonomy. So they easily lost ground. I think that's the biggest issue with the Edo Empire. But were they powerful? Yeah, they were very, very powerful. Because they
this Eletu Sarah didn't really get a clarification there. Are you saying they are the children?
Eletu Kekere is son of the 3rd king, Oba Gabaru. But Eletu did not have kids.
But I thought Eletu, they were Benin themselves, they were like kingmakers. Like the Ashipa was actually,
no, the
I think
name of the guy
was a
is
warrior.
Oba Eletu Kekere. I don't know whether there's another title called Eletu, but his name is Oba Eletu Kekere. Is the fifth. Ashipa first, him being the fifth. Eletu may be another title. I don't know. I mean, I'm not the Yoruba.
I mean, the Ashikpa were before the Benin incursion, and they were warriors. This narrative of Lagos being like a fishing, whatever, it was because they were fishers. They were
Yeah, they were
fishing
fishers,
people,
people,
right? And they were not kings. They were no kings. They had just warriors and whatever. The kingship situation started from Benin incursion, right?
Yes.
And the kingmakers were these Eletu situations, the way I can wrap my head around it. I don't know. But I'm not a history student.
Eletu, I don't know the title of Eletu, but Eletu may be kingmaker, but the name of the fifth king is Eletu Kekere. There may be Eletu title, like I don't know. I don't know too much about it. Maybe some phonies or some checks and balances in that space. I don't know. But I know for sure that guy was the king from 1770 for 5 years, 1775 to 780. And then he stopped there because he did not have any kids. And then they had to use one of the daughters of Obado, that married Alagba. And it's from there that we have the current line of succession. That's why I know that if you look at, it's always been Yoruba blood. Yeah, there's what's it called? There's Edo inside for sure, but it is just Lagos Island. It's not Lagos State.
Yeah, sure. But my point, I don't know that Eletu, but I think the Eletu name seems to date back to even to 16th century. I mean, or 17th century rather, 16 something, right? And I don't know, maybe there is another name Eletu that became a king, but I think the Eletu were associated with the chiefs, of the
chiefship, like Akarigbe.
I think I kind of ring the bell. I think, yeah. The white cap chiefs, the white cap chiefs.
But somehow, I don't know. It just was documented that I'm reading. I did not write the history. I just I'm not
totally sure. I'm not really, but I know that Lagos predated Benin incursion. There were already Awori before there.
I mean, they met people there now. People talk about it like Benin was there. They just were passing by. They only had a war camp, camp. And then when they put someone there to protect their interests because of the port, right? Because ports for trade, they put someone there, and that person was paying them tribute. Did they pay tribute? Yeah, for over 200 years they paid tribute.
I think the thing that Rufai was referring to, I think the name Eko was given was named.
Is it a Benin word? Is it a Benin word, Eko?
Actually, somebody is contesting that it's a Benin word because there's some other Eko within Yoruba interlands that is the same word, with the same intonation. And let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Someone is contesting it as a Benin word. That is not a Benin word.
It used to be. Now the Aworis, they were calling their thing Oko. That was what they were calling it before the Benin came. So it was the distorted Oko that became a ko for the Benis. So
yeah, it could be where it came from.
That's the history. So it's a mixture of the two that became a ko. So you can't really say directly that a ko is actually a do. So it's like a distorted version of what their worries were calling.
No, I will agree with you. I'm saying that the echo, as it start to be a core, has something to do with Benin influence.
Yes, it has Benin.
So it could be a merger.
By and large, for me, even when Kulota said, okay, what they had there was a war camp, right? From my understanding of Benin incursion into the Oyo Empire and the Yoruba space generally, it wasn't really war. They all ended their war majorly in 16th centuries. For instance, Oyo fell in about, I think, 1780 something. Yeah.
No, 18.
But that one for Lagos was to protect their port interest now. It wasn't it was to
Exactly.
protect their port.
So it was a trading point for everybody. It was a neutral ground. It was a point you get to, you don't fight war.
I won't call it a neutral ground. There
Okay.
was no strong city state in Eko. The way we had
Yeah, that's
city
for
states
sure.
like Oyo, Elisha, all those.
For
There
sure,
wasn't
for
strong
sure.
Yes.
city state, but
No
there was a
established
settlement.
kingdom like that. Yeah.
There was a Yoruba settlement there made of
Yes.
Awori, and in
That's
some other
where I
areas,
also see it.
Ijebu, and in some other areas, maybe like that Ekpe, who knows? I mean,
The
who are
Jebus
the
have
native
their
people?
own settlement. Isheri, Awori, all those
Yeah,
guys.
Awori. But when you
Then
look at like that Ido area now in Lagos, that has some Benin language. So there's some names that you think they're Yorubas, like Obanikoro. Historically, Obanikoro are not Yorubas. They're from Benin, Obanikoro. And names like Oshodi is not Yoruba, is Nukwe, is Takpa. So that trading in Lagos became a melting pot, but it was heavily contested, especially by the Ijebu people. That's why a lot of Ijebu people are richer than most Yorubas, because they made a lot of money. They made a boatload of money during slavery.
yes, of course.
Got an advantage over everybody.
Is it true that the Benin Empire, the artifacts of the Benin Kingdom, that it's that there is some plan to bring it back?
They're bringing it back already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Benin Kingdom.
Yeah, the artifacts.
Yeah, but they should also pay for it. They made so much money out of it. They should pay some money. You pay reparation for them, not only to
You know, that's a wider space. You know, that was one of the spaces that Abiola was chasing before his death. Reparation for the
they
entire
made
slave
money out
trade.
of it. You pay. So we don't want just mold and stuff. We offer all the money they made. If you pay some money,
Fatai.
you should pay some
Yeah,
money.
but the thing is that
Fatai,
if
can
they
I
bring it
interject?
back, are they going to be
Sure.
able to preserve it, like put it in
Fatai.
museums and stuff
No,
like
no,
that?
they are built.
We will
They've
preserve it.
already.
Give us.
They've already built they built a museum or something. They've built a space for it in Benin already.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
But
Fatai,
Fatai.
You don't know how to preserve all those things.
that's what I'm saying. This
Fatai.
Our own heritage.
Zita.
We know how to preserve our own heritage now.
All those ones they
Roman,
left
no.
behind, where are they today?
Can
All
I
those ones they
interject?
left, where are
Can
they?
I interject? One
Yeah,
man,
come in.
you guys are just really being unfair to those artifacts. You would have asked them if they really want to come back to Nigeria. You can't just go and leave those things like that. Come and dump them in Nigeria. They were having a nice life, being admired by people who have money to pay for looking at them. You went and just jacked them. You bring them to Nigeria and dump them where people will not admire them. It's not right.
Yeah,
You
that's
have
what I'm
to
saying.
ask
That would they
them,
be able to
do you
preserve
really
it?
want to come back? It's a decision. Because they're citizens of those countries. They've been there for years. It's not right, honestly.
No, they are our citizens.
No,
they are our
they're not.
citizens. We borrow them.
No, they're not.
But they could have made a deal to be getting money. I don't know if it's going to be there. They should be giving us money.
Yeah, that's what they would have negotiated, not bringing them back. Yeah.
Madam Zita, if you come to our own Nigeria, our beloved Nigeria.
No, not for things like that. You don't have the antecedent of looking at them. You're not gonna pay something like $200 or $300 to go and look at Festac
guys, let me show you something. It's you say what you said that Zita. Hold on. What you said, Zita. You were saying it in jest, but it's actually maybe a bigger space than you thought. But let me show you this. I want to show you something. That space that you are saying that did we ask the artifacts if they want to come back to Benin? But watch this. Watch this.
Earlier, I spoke to the Culture Secretary, Oliver Dowden, and I began by asking him whether he thought the stolen Benin bronzes should be owned by Nigeria.
Well, I think that they properly reside in the British Museum. Now, that doesn't mean to say that we shouldn't work with the government in Nigeria to see how we can share it with them.
Forgive me, and I understand sharing, but they were stolen. Do you not think that they should be owned by people that they were stolen from in the first place?
Well, I think the problem with this, and of course, if we go back to things that happened in the 19th century and judge them by our values of today, it's completely unacceptable. But my concern about this is, where do you actually draw the line with this? The collections of our great national institutions have been developed over many, many centuries, in many times in questionable circumstances. I think the question now is about what we do with these. I love the Benin bronzes. I've seen them many times throughout my life, and I think them being in the British Museum, which is a world repository of heritage, allows people to see it. But that doesn't stop us from sharing it.
Okay, but ownership is key, right? Yeah. And the Nigerians say that when they get them back, they would almost certainly be happy to loan them back to you. But the fundamental problem is that they were stolen from the Nigerians and they want to own them.
I completely accept that they were acquired at a time of
they were stolen, not acquired.
In Africa, in circumstances that I'm not in any way going to sort of defend or condemn with the values of the 21st century. I think, though, the more important question is how we ensure that the world can enjoy this marvelous heritage.
A letter will soon be sent, mandated under international law by the Nigerian government to the British Museum, formally requesting return. You and I know that would also require laws, the Heritage Act and the British Museum Act, to be revoked or at least amended. Is that a realistic prospect?
No, we have no plans for doing that.
So there it is. Zita, you were saying they should ask the artifacts if they want to come back. They've asked the artifacts and they said no. They are not coming back.
And look at the language he was using. Instead of him to say it was stolen, he said
it was acquired now. It was acquired. They don't steal things, they acquire it.
One man, that thing is talking about, it's very important to first own it first, because you put yourself in a strong negotiation position. If you just say to be there and then you see that you'll be giving you money, no, we take it back and we can then agree to give it back because we be in a stronger position. It doesn't have to be in the Nigeria. We can still give it back to them, but we want them back. When we have them, now they have to negotiate with us if they really, really want it to be displayed in the British National Museum for greater market or whatever it is. But we take it back first of all, right? And
but they are not giving it back. Did you not hear the man? He said they are not giving it back. He said they have to change law. Okay. You will send gunboats, Abi. You will send gunboats to Britain.
Sorry, guys, I need to go, but I want to make one correction. Yes. Ashipa was not officially crowned king of Lagos, but his son is the one that was first crowned king of Lagos, blessed by Oba of Lagos. But he's the progenitor. He started the dynasty. So just wanted to correct that. Ashipa is not considered king, but Ado, his son, was the official king.
So they were warriors. Their lineage, the kingship is their lineage that was.
He's from Ashipa.
But they were just warriors.
Yes, Ashipa was a warrior. Yes.
All right, let Kulata get to work. That's how we get the super chats that we get. That's the way it ends.
So, need to go and read more about that Prince Ado.
All right, thank you, Kulata. I think Rotimi was also attacking that space in the comment section. So thank you, Kulata. So there it is. They are not giving that. It's unbelievable the gall of these people that we did not steal it. We acquired it. You know.
No, but why do you say they steal it? Why do you think they
okay, you have a narrative. Yeah.
Why you say it was not stolen. It was
a war now.
The word shouldn't be stolen. The word should be, I don't know the word that we use, because when you tip a palace guard a little stipend to get something for you.
No, they sacked the space. They sacked the
palace
space.
Guard is not the owner.
It was a conquest. it was a war. They invaded Benin Kingdom. They burnt Benin Kingdom. They fought a war.
Yeah,
Benin
they came to steal and destroy.
They came to steal.
Benin, no, it was a time. It was a time when there were conquests, right? Society conquering society.
That is part
now,
of the parameter of stealing now.
No, but
Ogbeni,
okay.
that is the parameter of stealing.
Let
If
me
I
give
burn
you
your
an
house
instance.
to
Okay, or your
hold on.
When you take something that doesn't belong to you, is that not stealing?
No,
you have acquired it. It's not stealing. It's acquiring.
In those days, there were no international laws to guide English society invading Scottish invading West, English coming down to Africa, invading Africa, and all sorts. Nothing like that. It's because we live in a modern world. When you know UK cannot just come, Russia should not just go to Ukraine and we start fighting. In those days, each empire prepared itself to fight against any external aggression. And if external aggression come and it conquer you, then it become a conquest. They dominate you, they take over your land, and whatever they pick from your land at that time becomes their home, right?
So it's not stolen now.
It's stolen now.
That is it now. It was a conquest.
If it's conquest,
but
it's not stealing
now.
It's not
is
stealing.
It theirs? Is it
okay?
Ogbeni,
if you say
Ogbeni, let's make it simple. Ogbeni, let's make it simple. This thing is it British cultural heritage? Is it did they own that? So it's not. If something is not yours, it doesn't matter how you do it. If I want to steal something from you and I come, I burn down your house.
I'm coming.
Wait, if I burn your house and take away your television, it doesn't make it because I already burned down
my house.
You.
If you burn my house during the time when there was no law that says that anything I own, you shouldn't take it, then it becomes yours. In those days,
this is not law of nature.
Right.
That is law of nature. That's law of nature. What does not belong to you is not yours. That's law of nature.
You don't get me. Okay, I'm coming. Let me give you an instance. Do you know there were crowns that you will find in Benin Kingdom today, okay, in the Oba Palace that doesn't belong to the Benin? They went to fight war, they killed those kings, and they took they took their things, just like the British also came. And it formed part of the heritage of Benin today. And the Benin will come and tell you that we fought war XYZ years ago, and then we got this as what do you call it? Something of war. So Oyo Empire, Oyo invaded Ekiti now severally. So all our loot that is in Oyo now that they become pride of Oyo, why don't you call it stealing? Ife invaded and several, and Ife doesn't even fight. Ibadan, if it's retrievable, so
my
point is that it was an era when might was right. They invaded your space.
So that means they shouldn't return it. Then they should keep it.
That's why the man said he's not returning it.
They are going to return it. They are going to return
it. Let me tell you why they are returning it now. Why they are returning it is that the decolonization, for instance, now in the education system now, for instance, in UK, the education system is going through what they call something decolonization and de-European. I don't know how to put that in. So they are trying to neutralize their space, okay, to form a kind of maybe reparation to one kind, to show that, okay, we have offended mankind over the
years. Are not repairing, they are rewriting history. They are trying to rewrite history.
Hold on. Let Ogbeni land. Yeah, carry on, Ogbeni.
How best can we appease? For instance, now, if you their curriculum now for their children in the school now, they try as much as possible to remove some theories that are there's something they call Eurocentric theory, Eurocentric sentiment. They are removing it. For instance, when they said Newton, because Newton is from maybe UK, maybe Newton propounded so theory, and there were thousands of other theories in Asia, in some other kingdom that propounded, but you won't promote it. So now they are saying they are neutralizing it. So it is that thing that now extend into all these relics, and they feel like, okay.
I think there's an international pressure. I think it's peer pressure because a lot of those artifacts, it held in Germany especially, have been returned. You can see, yes. So the narrative to hold on to it is no longer strong.
It's no longer
and you know the British, they like to say they are all about fairness and equity and all of that. So they can't. There's no hiding place anymore. I think it's the pressure of that space that is forcing it. But
So yes, you are right, and I agree with you. And that is why the first one they ever returned was University of Aberdeen. Now University of Aberdeen.
Yes, I think they returned about 2 or 3, didn't they?
Yes, 2021. Oba of Benin. This Oba Iware second. Head. That's the replica of Iware head. They return it. They return it to King College, and then our Benin and federal government started fighting on where should they return it to, who owns it. It should be the federal government of Benin or things like that and everything. And they said, okay, we'll hold on until you people finish your controversy on it and everything. That's the last I can hear from them. But my own is this: when you say stealing, sometimes from me it sounds somehow, because in history they came to conquer. They were warriors. They fought.
So you agree with that might is right sort of thing?
Yeah, that era, it was the era.
You agree with it?
No, it was that was what was obtainable that era now, because we also went to Dahomey. We invaded Dahomey. We brought all their loot and slaves and everything to Oyo. So would Dahomey now say return our slave or return our? That's it now.
Ogbeni, there is a precious diamond or whatever on the crown of the now king of England, right?
It's called from India. The Star of India. They call it the Star of India. Yeah.
So the stealing narrative is traceability, right? If I can conclusively trace it, has nothing to do with British culture. It is here from me. Like if there's a mix of things, we know that this old mix, right? You take it from me, but I can't really documentarily trace it to me. Yes, that can go. But if I can certainty with no doubt, no anything, it belongs to me. There is no redefinition of stealing, right? You stole it, it's mine. Doesn't matter if it's spoil of war. If I can trace for sure, it belongs. Yeah, spoil of war. What does it matter? You come and fight me and take my things. But if I can prove, I can. Like this one now, culturally, there is no way.
That was the way they were rolling then.
That was the way.
I know. No, we are not arguing. What I'm saying is this: like for example, this now, there is no way Britain can claim ownership of this artifact. How are they How is the Benin history going to be British? So it can't be there. It doesn't matter. It was a spoil of war. The point is, it can be documented by all accounts that it belonged to Nigeria, it belonged to the Benin Kingdom. So there's no way they cannot call it stealing. They give it back. It was spoil of war, but at the same time, stealing means it does not belong to them. And this is documentable. It does not belong to you culturally, but from every perspective. Even they cannot argue with it. So it's not there.
You know why they are not arguing? It's simply they won't
even stealing. You have to give it back to us if we want it.
If you call it stealing for the historians here, they will tell you it's not stealing. That's the first thing. You may keep saying it's stealing, but they will tell you it's not stealing. And secondly, they are just being it's their level of exposure. If you leave it to us, if it's Africa that invaded this place.
That's another story. Now we will
take anything back
negotiate that way.
What? But
we need to take it back for negotiation strength. We need to take it back for negotiation strength. We can give it back to display it in their museum.
Those things are not happy coming to Nigeria. Take it from me. I'm not kidding. Those artifacts are not happy.
No. Now the libations that brings them back, their libations and their rituals, they are in our hands now.
No. So who told you they like those dirty things? They've been on the AC, in classes, been admired for so many years. And all of a sudden, you put them down in one bush and be pouring chicken blood.
Yeah, but they don't belong in ACs. You know there are rituals. You know when they return these things to Benin, they don't just hand it over as an artifact, you know there are rituals to welcome them back into situation.
They don't need it to. I've been telling you people. It's gonna hurt.
Those things are happy to be coming home because that is where they come from. They were in glorified prison before. Now they are coming back to their roots.
Ordinary electricity, you people don't have.
I don't know if Zita is trolling us or not.
Madam, they are not even giving us money.
Zita, I'm surprised that you are not talking well of Nigeria, my precious Nigeria.
My precious Nigeria, my beautiful Nigeria.
No. I will not tell somebody who is enjoying somewhere to come home to suffer. No, I will not say that.
But you don't believe people are suffering in Nigeria now. You say my precious Nigeria.
No, but they didn't leave now. If you have left, like now, I cannot say, Rosie, you must go back to Nigeria. That's exactly what you people are doing. And that's not fair.
What you are saying is,
you have to go back.
Are they giving us any benefit? Are they giving us any benefit for it being in their museum?
That's what you will negotiate for.
We will negotiate that.
No, but that tourism can come to Benin to come and see it now. Yes.
Is anybody going to pay $300 to go and see that?
But you have to fix Nigeria before tourism can take place. I don't want to
apart from fixing Nigeria, can any Nigeria pay $300 to go and see that?
Yeah, people can pay it. We have some rich
people. Let's be real now. Let's be real.
Okay.
We have to secure our security because I don't want to come there to see the artifact and as soon as I step out of the door, I'm being kidnapped to the forest.
Rosie, that is not the issue. The issue is who are we, our mindset. A typical young Nigerian in the University of Benin will not walk all the way to what's it called? Museum in Benin to pay $300 to watch.
Because we haven't gotten to that
they
level.
will.
That's
they
what
will.
I'm saying. So leave it until you get to that level. You're just disturbing these things. Anyway,
when we are rich enough, then that is luxury. Right now, it's luxury. The average student in Nigeria is struggling how to eat, how to buy their handouts, how to feed. So you can't expect them to be affording expensive.
One man.
Sorry, as you're coming in, I want to share something with you because Zita is saying that they would not, who will pay $300, etc. But people that are invested in that space, they will pay it. But carry on. So this is the Osun Festival, but you wouldn't know it, of course, from the audience in attendance. So this is the Osun Festival. Is white people everywhere. So they will come if the artifacts are brought back home. They will come.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
All over the world.
And they laugh.
Yeah, carry on. Yeah. Hold on. Let's rational mind, and then after.